Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Town Council meeting. If you can please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could you lead us in invocation?
Yeah, sure. Let's bow our heads. Our Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for a wonderful day you've given us. We thank you for the trials and tribulations that you put in front of us, Lord. We also appreciate the opportunity to oversee them and find daylight in situations. Lord, we ask that you'll be with this council tonight. Guide them and lead them, give them the courage to make the decisions that are in the best interest of not only the town, but also you. We ask all this in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. So, first on our agenda, we have a special request, a donation request from Tazewell County Career and Technical Center for Skills USA State Competition. Ms. Cook, come. You can bring your group with you if you want, and the moral support there.
They are my people.
Your people.
Yeah. So I'm Sarah Cook, and I'm the lead advisor for Skills USA. And here with us tonight are two of our students, and they have qualified for a national contest in Atlanta, Georgia. There's 5 students that are competing, and it's the most, I believe, that our school has ever taken to a national contest. But due to COVID and everything that we've been through, we haven't had the opportunity to fundraise in the past. And this is our teacher workforce that we're building right here in Tazewell. And we're just requesting anything that you would see fit to help us towards our goals and our trip to Atlanta.
How many students are you taking?
5. There's one in barbering and diesel cabinet making. We're taking a power equipment student and
Auto maintenance.
yes, maintenance and light repair for auto service.
I'll make the motion 500.
Anything will help. That'll be
That's
great.
for gas too.
Yes.
I think that our
Yeah, that went above, but
job allowance is 200. The maximum for the loader is 200.
yeah, approved.
Yeah, and that's actually what we just gave to DECA too,
Yeah.
when they went to national.
That's still
You
great.
found 200?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Second much.
Okay. All in favor for the approval of $200, stay so by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, stay so by saying nay. Thank you, guys.
Good luck.
Good luck. Good luck. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Mayor, before you move on to the next one, if you want to look outside,
Yeah, see that.
I just want to introduce that to everybody. But that's your latest purchase on the fire department, so that is what is that? John, speak on it a little bit.
Well, I noticed it before.
2005 Pierce 85-foot ladder, 2,000 pound, 2,000 gallon pump,
Yeah.
and a 300 gallon tank.
All right. It's also got foam on it.
It's got a foam tank and a water tank.
So,
Well, I like.
I think I am all right. We appreciate you bringing it out,
It's
John.
very well spec'd. We wanted to show it to you, we didn't know the exact protocol.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we're happy with there.
We're impressed.
All right,
Thank you, John.
Yeah, thank you for bringing it out.
thank you.
And Sarah, you guys are welcome to stay, or you can go. Totally up to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you stay, you really don't have anything to do.
Well, we didn't want to duck and cover and leave, but we might have a little bit game to go to.
Oh, yeah.
Take care. So next is the new business recognition. Is Mr. Johnson here?
Hunter Johnson, not here.
Not here. So next, the Violet Studio. Ms. Violet Asbury, you want to come up and give us a little rundown on your business?
Sorry I was late, guys.
Oh, it's
Just on time, exactly late too. All right, so I know a few faces. I walked in and was like, okay, at least I've seen a few people I recognized. The Violet Studio is going to offer weekly classes in a variety of mediums in art, acrylic, watercolor, drawing, ceramics soon, not yet. I want to do different types of stuff with polymer clay as well. I'm gonna do weekly classes. I have a room called the Drip Room. You walk in, you can just throw paint. I mean, you can just go nuts on, I got t-shirts, canvases, beach towels, and caps. So those are available right now. I'm also gonna do private parties and private lessons, and I'm gonna do that on location or at a location.
So the one where you throw the paint, when does that start?
I'm ready to start it starting Friday. I'm gonna open the doors, so.
Where are you located?
I am located at 2835 Fincastle, which is where Your Great Escape and the retail therapist is.
Oh, excellent. But we do have gifts that we give to our new businesses.
I brought a couple of little, a couple of cards that I'm gonna.
Okay. Yeah, well, I will pass them on up there.
But yeah, I get pictures and stuff.
yes.
Obligatory pictures.
Here's some stuff. This is awesome.
Fancy cup.
2835.
Thank you, and thank you for opening up here.
I'm so excited, yeah.
We really appreciate it.
I'm so excited to be in my hometown, so.
Yes, absolutely. So next is Fiesta Jalisco.
They're moving to June.
Okay.
Moving to June.
Okay, so next on the agenda is the approval of minutes from the council meeting on April 12th, 2022. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second, any discussion? All in favor of approval of minutes, stay so by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, stay so by saying nay. All right, the minutes are approved. Next is the approval of financial statements and the financial report from April 22, 2022. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approval of financial statements, stay so by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, stay so by saying nay. All right, financial statements approved. Next, Councilmember Davis will give us an update on the Planning Commission Committee.
The update is that we did not meet.
Easy enough. So next is our unfinished business section, and Manager Davis will give us an update on the recreational access grant.
I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time there. We opened up bids, it's been a month ago, and they were just kind of finally tabulated by Andy. And just as we expected, just like the 460 project, which we opened up last week, haven't completely got it ready yet. T&L's still working on that, but that project is $325,000 above estimate. So if we remove it from VDOT, we have to repay everything that we've paid, because it's got grant money in it. So obviously, we're just tabling it for right now, and I'm hoping that VDOT will have a plan in the future to subsidize some of these over budgeted projects, which, by the way, according to VDOT, is every one they've got.
So how long can we theoretically kick the can down the road? We don't know.
I'm still waiting on VDOT to let me know that. They haven't been faced with it yet until now, so.
I don't
have
see prices dropping over the next year.
I don't know, not sure. But it, like I said, $325,000 over budget. That's all I got.
Okay. So next we have the IEDA vacancy recommendations.
Table it.
Do we want to table it?
Yes.
I guess I need to check with it first.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the historic review board vacancy. We go table that one too? Or do we have anybody?
Okay.
Done.
Who was it, Susan?
Erica Galloway,
Yeah.
Director for Tazewell County Public Library.
And she has already said she would.
Yes, she's shown interest in it.
Need a motion to approve?
I do.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor of Erica Galloway being added to the historic review board, stay so by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, stay so by saying nay. All right. We will add Ms. Erica to that review board. Next, the 4th of July fireworks issue, Manager Day.
Okay, I'm gonna try to go through this because Robin won't do it, but
She'll add it.
we'll go ahead.
We have a fireworks issue. I know that you guys have probably already seen in your packet. We received a phone call last week that our shooters that normally come here are semi-retiring and can no longer do our show. They were just notified. They don't have anybody else to send to our area. I did check with Zambelli. They do not have the 4th available either. They can do 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, but the price would go to $26,000 from the 11.5 we already committed to.
I know a couple of guys in Dryford that do it.
Well, I contacted the shooters myself, because I still have their phone number from last year. I said, is there any way possible you can work us in this year just to get us by? They can't do it on the 4th, but they will do it on Saturday, the 2nd, if we
Yes.
change the celebration.
Yes.
Did we have some firemen that,
We can't,
So you
I
have
did
to get
contact them
certified.
about
They were
certifications. She sent me an application packet. If we could get them certified.
I think their certifications are on out.
Yeah, that's.
We can redo it, we'll look at it for next
She
year.
gave us an application that we can get our people certified, and they can still provide the fireworks for us.
so we can do it on the 2nd?
On the 2nd.
On
I
this-
make a motion, we do it on the 2nd, and do the
Second.
entire
Second.
celebration for the 2nd.
And we'll post it on Facebook too.
And then we'll get everybody around the neighborhood to go ahead and set them off on the 4th.
There we go.
They're gonna do
They're gonna do
that.
it anyway. huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a second. Any discussion? All in favor of moving the fireworks to July 2nd, stay so by saying aye. All opposed, stay so by saying nay. All right, motion carries. The next manager today is going to talk about the stormwater drain issue on Fairgrounds Road.
Okay, folks, for the last 2 years, I have diligently tried to obtain easements on Fairground Road to replace that stormwater line. And I got one today that I've been after, and I am still short one. And I think, police department, not because it's a legal issue, just because they're pretty good at finding people, and I've certified mail, weren't getting, I've done everything I can. I've got one to go, and they're right dead in the middle. So I'm gonna do that project, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop at her property line on both sides. And I'm gonna tie in the upper side, and I'm gonna tie in the lower side, and I'm leaving the gap in the middle. That's all I can do. So I've been trying to close this deal for 2 years. I
What does
know
that,
2 years.
what does that do to the actual stormwater?
From there up, it'll still have the same problem. But if I keep procrastinating, I'm not gonna get it.
Which house is it? Is it right at the top of the fairground?
It's in the middle. I don't know what the address is, I don't have.
There's 5 houses,
Yeah.
5 properties.
Is it below the issue?
Third house from you.
Either way.
So there's all kind of issues up there. There's a problem, the whole thing is completely deteriorated. But, you know, I like.
Where does it cross the road to the farm side?
All the way at the bottom, the last house, the 5th house that goes across the road. So I've got, like I said, I've got signatures from everybody, I mean, it's been a job, but I
I
got.
actually couldn't think of that.
North side of
I know.
North side of Fairgrounds or south?
North.
Move north side.
Well, there's only one side of town.
Okay, so there's no way to get an easement if you can't get a hold of the person they want to
I've been
find?
trying everything, Brad went back and spent all kinds, I can't find any. The problem is, for some reason, I gave Brad like 4 examples before the meeting. There's stormwater lines all over this town, and there's no easement.
Oh, that's
So,
fine.
there are none there. So, you know, if I already had an easement, I wouldn't have to, I just go in and do it, but
Right.
there's not none for the lines in the ground now. But it was in the county though at the time, I'm just saying it's a different.
Back when it was put in the 40s, it was stuff all in the county. It's not part of the town.
Still should have been an easement, a legal easement, but it ain't nothing.
All right, thanks for the info, Todd.
Well, is there a possibility that if you do contact them and get a hold of them at some point, that you could connect the two
Yeah. so-
later on?
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna, it's just like Dr. Brown said, it's not gonna function
Right.
correctly without it. But I've got a lot of drop inlets going down through there. So most of them will benefit that are below it. But above it, it's not gonna hurt them, because it's a messed up scene now, but
They're still gonna have to flood in their yards.
yeah. And the issue, what's really perplexing to me, is this particular house has water that ponds in the yard because there's nowhere for water to go. So it backs back up the gutters and ponds in the yard and shoots up out the ground.
Fun.
And there's no charge to it, by the way. We're doing every bit of it in-house. Free charge, tie-ins, downspouts, tie-in, just everything. I just,
Okay.
Okay, so next on the agenda, any miscellaneous unfinished business? Okay, we're gonna go to the new business section, alley closure request, since Mr. Hurley's not here. Todd?
yeah, I'll pick it up, and I would encourage Red Pike to chime in too. I don't have all the lingo down, but there's an alleyway out off of, what's the name of the house, Brad?
Pinehurst
You
Drive.
did a good job, Brad, just keep going.
The current owners of property it's off of Riverside Drive, runs actually perpendicular to it, Pinehurst does, where you have the existing storage buildings that are there now on the south side of the road, between the road and the river, that are wanting to basically expand that business, and they came to planning commission for that purpose. And they own property on either side of the alley that serves parallel to Riverside, off of Pinehurst, and they're asking that it be closed, because we have a public hearing on tonight. We've already got an assessment from the Commissioner of Revenue on the value of the property. It's just now a matter of the council approving the vacation of the alley that's there. It's been dedicated when it was done back in the, I want to say back in the 40s, maybe, when that was done. It's never been open and used for public use since it's been there. And they're asking it to be closed so they can go through and actually then expand their business. The only thing it takes at this point in time, after the affirmative vote of council, is for an ordinance of vacation to be prepared, which I've got a draft already ready to go. The Commissioner of Revenue has to assign a tax map number for that, but that's something fairly straightforward. And a matter of then the future owners, which they own on both sides of the alley, so they are the only owners really directly going to be affected by it. They would pay the assessed value to the town as established by the Commissioner of Revenue, plus all costs associated with this project, which would entail all the advertising costs, legal fees, recording fees, and the actual cost of the property itself.
As I recall, the town was gonna maintain an easement through there.
Part of the language that we've incorporated into this, specifically, it states that the fractional portion acquired by the new owner shall be subject to any and all existing utility easements presently existing therein, and to the future availability for the construction, installation, and maintenance of utilities necessary for the town of Tazewell. So that language will be maintained in there. The proposal they provided to the planning commission shows a storage building within the existing lots. There are 4 of them over there, and the alley being, of course, taken in by the property, absorbed by the property, but nothing being constructed on top of it. So if at any point in time in the future that a water line, a sewer line, some type of power line underground that need to be put through their cable, it would still be available for that particular purpose.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor of moving forward with the closure of the alley and allowing Brad to move forward with the ordinance of vacation, state so by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, state so by saying nay. All right, Brad, looks like we're good to go. So next is the wastewater treatment plant debt service payment payoff. Manager Day.
Okay, the very first line item in your budget in the sewer fund is a revenue annually of $43,347. That's $3,612.23 a month. And what that is, that's a fee that's paid to us by the PSA for the purchase of a portion of the sewer treatment plant years ago, way before my time. that is being paid off and has already been paid off. So the wiring total that came to the town of Tazewell that we closed out last week was $582,923.85 in the sewer fund. Our recommendation right now, I'm going to continue to work with Corbin, is to leave it alone. Wash it out so that your fund balance for years and years and years and years to come is covered. So the way that would work, there wouldn't be any expenses there. So last year, for example, let's say we closed a year out in the sewer fund with $50,000. That's $50,000 ahead in the fund balance. Next year, we may have some catastrophe hit in the sewer fund, and we close it out negative $40,000. So a positive fund balance of $500,000+, needless to say, will carry you a long, 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 long time. So that's our recommendation right now. And we'll continue to solidify that. There may be a day though where council says, let's spend $50,000 and pick up a project somewhere, so.
Well, and that would give us the cushion that they want us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Way, way, way above. So, yeah, that was a blessing in disguise. So, needless to say, the revenue would be dropped by $43,000 a year, but.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Cash in.
Right.
Yeah. But that would incredibly. And by the way, the audit is done by water and sewer combined. We run our books as enterprise funds, business accounts for water separately from sewer. But the audit is done covering both the water and the sewer. So, just want to point that out. They'll cover both of those accounts for a lot of years.
Thank you. The next item is personal property assessment changes. Ms. Reagan?
Back in March, the Commissioner of Revenue, David Anderson, had sent the towns in the county a letter about the personal property taxes. And he says that we are looking at a 22% increase on assessments for this upcoming tax year. This is due to, COVID made it hard to get new vehicles in, so the price of used vehicles have went up and they're more valuable. So when we do taxes, they're broke down into categories. So the categories in which he says are going up 22% is the personal property class and the class which is O2, which is vehicles or trucks over 7,501 gross weight pounds. So what he has asked is that our boards of each of the towns consider this increase and what it could do to their tax bases, to their tax customers, and possibly give some type of a discount where it wouldn't impact them as much. I have spoke with the town of Bluefield, town of Cedar Bluff, town of Richlands, and town of Pocahontas. And as of this moment, none of those towns are planning on doing any type of discount.
That's because next year, it'll flip the other way.
Right. I mean,
So, and it's only two categories?
Two categories.
Out of how many? Like 15, 20?
Why did he pick two?
About 15.
It's just-
Those are the most that the vehicles fall in.
Yeah.
Like your personal use or your bigger vehicles. That's
And when
the
he
two
says
that fall.
22%, that's an average. Ours might be 12, it might be 27. That's just an average. In the letter. So none of the other localities are doing it because they're obvious. You introduce something to the public now, you better be ready to.
Do it every year.
Yeah.
Is the county offering such a discount?
They are discussing it. I don't know of anything that they're doing right now, So I kind of ran some numbers based on our assessments last year. And if those two categories increase 22%, we're talking about a possible increase of about $36,000. And that's divided over all of your vehicles in that category. And like I said, the other localities are not anticipating doing any type of discount.
We will continue
Let's,
to track it.
I was gonna say, let's table
We'll
this.
continue discussion. Yeah, we're not asking for, we'll continue to track it and inform council any changes across the county, what the county's doing. We just wanted to bring it to your attention that we did get that letter from David. So we'll keep you updated.
And can I bring up one more thing while I'm talking?
Yep.
We have had a lot of requests for auto draft for our bill pays. Larry Lutz was here earlier for the public hearing, and he actually asked me about it, and I said, "You're in luck. I was going to ask him this evening." So I think that it would be good for us to offer that because it would help us with collection. It would help with, maybe our cutoff list wouldn't be so big, less time that our employees would have to do that. They could be working on other jobs. But our debit and credit card fees, where people are using over the phone, if they sign up for auto draft, that's going to cut down that cost. That's going to save the town money. So.
Kind of makes sense, it's what everybody's using now, they give that option to auto pay, so, we do have to step into that.
Anything that helps people, I'm all for it.
I think
It makes
it's
it
convenience
easier.
we need to
A
offer.
whole lot easier.
Well, and the reason that when you do the payment over the phone, the reason the merchant fees are so high is because you're keying it in, somebody else tells you. So you have the liability if that's
Right.
the wrong number. But if they're putting in themselves, the liability's on them, not on us.
Right.
What's the cost?
When I had talked to the bank, they said there may be like a $15 transfer fee, like a file fee. That's it.
$15
Per person or for the entire?
Per person.
No, for the file.
County and
Entire files? So all you do is then you provide,
When we would run the bills each month, we would send, like whoever had signed up for that service, we would send that file to the bank. We will pick a date out of the month, and then they will give us those funds, and we'll post them to the accounts.
how do you reorient your billing to tell the general customer how they're to pay?
You have to mark their counts. It's in the system, and we'd have to set up, like each person that would sign up, we have to set up their bank, all their account information, and then when we do our bills, that file will go out to whatever bank it needs to go out to.
That's fine, so it's just a service that you would provide
Yes.
to do all that labor to make that happen. That's what I was asking.
Okay.
I think that sounds like a good idea. And if we need a vote, I will make a motion.
That, it's not.
I don't think we have to have.
No,
I'm just all for
we're
it.
just throwing it out there.
Okay, anything else on that? So, next is a request from the THS Prompt Committee for a donation.
Okay, you've got that request in front of you. Now, I know that it says in here that we've done it in years past, but that's an estimated $1,700 request. And there's 234 plus students involved in there.
So are we the only donors for the whole thing? Is that what they're wanting?
No, they're doing other fundraising, they're doing a whole lot.
So they're not asking us for all that?
If you pay, they will.
Is the school donating any money?
I don't know, you would have to ask Jerry on that one.
That's a 50 to 500 category, by the way.
I'll make a motion, we provide $500.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor for approving the donation request for $500, stay so by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, stay so by saying nay. All right, Motion carries, so $500.
Been a long time.
Next is a town equipment vehicle for auction. Manager Day?
Okay, you've got some papers being handed down right now with a lot of offline equipment that we've got that we need to move. Some of them run. The ones do run, don't run well. So anyway, it's just a lot of stuff. It's several police cruisers on there. It's actually, I don't know, John's got it on there for a fire truck with all kinds of stuff that we need to get rid of. So we're just asking for your blessing to proceed to clean up the junkyard.
Proceed. I'll make a motion.
I'll second the motion.
All right, so there we go. So any discussion? All in favor of letting Todd move forward to auction off the vehicle, stay so by saying aye. All opposed, stay so by saying nay. All right, so next, any miscellaneous new business that I've missed?
We got a sheet.
Something that I see. So next is the public comments section. So do we have? All right, Melissa Badola, you can come up, state your name, address, and we try to limit this to about 3 minutes. If
Okay.
From New York, so I know you can speak quick.
Hi, my name is Melissa Badola. Address is 5350 Whitney Valley Road. I am here to speak on behalf of the Tazewell Farmers Market. As many of you know, our market is in a little bit of unsteady situation as far as our location goes. We have been moved around. I've been managing it for 3 years now, and we've been in 4 different locations. We come before you to ask for support of the town, for you guys to get behind us as a market, perhaps a permanent location, and at least the start of a discussion of a shelter. A lot of our neighboring communities have beautiful shelters with power, bathrooms, the works. They don't even have an established market. So we are here in hopes that we could get familiar and move forward.
But I think currently, I mean, the only spot that we have that's kind of open enough is the Ramey slot. That, you know, and I know you were at one section of the Ramey slot, so now you're moving down. The town doesn't have just property everywhere. I mean, we're very limited on, and we'll definitely help out. That's for sure. But I mean.
Is there a, do you have an ideal location?
The Ramey lot. Where you guys moved us to is absolutely beautiful. It's more scenic with the trees there and the grass, and especially with the buildings out of the way. It's a high traffic area. We get people that are just passing through. We get a lot of people just in the town, but it's right there. It is the best location our market has ever been. But so if that could be guaranteed to us, that would be wonderful. I know all vendors would be happy. As manager, I'm open to discuss any location.
I think the issue we run into is we can't put a possible multi-million-dollar project off and say, oh, we're not going to do this because we have to, we've got the farmer's market here. So we got to kind of, put our business hats on.
Sure. Well, we've seen the proposal for the sports complex, and where you guys have us now is actually, there's nothing going there. So we thought that a shelter there would be great for when no events are happening. Mm-hmm. There's still something happening. And then when events are happening, it's just, a party.
And we will have to, so what's been let out to the public on the drawings and schematics and everything aren't really the true. We don't even know yet what it's going to look like. Those have just been kind of schematics that have been thrown together to, show what could happen. So until, we don't know where this is going, and until we have a more defined area and how we're going to lay it out, we just don't know. And we don't know, we might have a better answer 6 months from now. We might be in the same spot 6 months from now. We don't know at this point in time. So we can't make any guarantees of, you have this for, the next 5 or 10 years.
We would all absolutely support trying to find a
we've talked about this before. I mean, we're definitely open to trying to find a location that you can call home permanently. And we can look into building shelters and things like that. It's just, the Ramey lot's kind of, it's kind of,
In limbo.
It's a little in
limbo,
flux
right.
right now.
How about the
Are there some
fairgrounds?
monies
Have y'all
left?
checked in on that? Tazewell County Fairgrounds?
No, we have not. It
It's
is.
kind of under the beaten path.
Yeah, it
it doesn't get the,
All right.
I mean, people would have to get off.
No through there.
is. They would, they have to come look for us.
Yeah. The area right now is a prime location. I mean,
It's fabulous.
and we definitely understand that.
So do you want to continue to use it now?
At the rainy lot, I would. My concern is that it's going to be pulled out from under us mid-season or,
But that'd be a good place for you right now until we can figure out something that we can help you with.
Well,
Yes.
the only thing that we were planning on right now is demolishing the buildings,
Yeah,
right?
it's nothing, I can pretty much
Nothing.
guarantee it won't be pulled out of there, so you'll be fine there till
This year.
snow flies anyway, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, there's no development going on this year.
Yeah, this-
Unless you know something, we don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
You know, something.
But even if it does, we'll do whatever we can to find.
I got a quote the other day, I was working with the IDA actually owns this property. And I'll communicate with the IDA what you want to do. But the other issue I discussed with the IDA is all those raised pads.
Yeah.
So those pads are sticking up that high.
Yeah.
I understand once somebody hits it 2 or 3 times, they'll quit. So we posted the property. No trespassing, so we cover a legal end road, but that's still an issue there. And I don't know how to address it. So I got a quote to remove the pads. And the quote to remove the pads was within, like $10,000 of the entire quote to remove the entire development. So it just wasn't practical. I mean, it was literally it was way up there. $75,000 just to remove the concrete plus truck in all the gravel to fill it back. So we'll work with you. We might even have to strike some of it off with ribbon so that your people that come to buy something doesn't get thrown through the
The part
windshield.
you're using is closer towards Dollar Rock,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's just,
Yes,
Right
there's
now, it's just
actually, it's a
parking
little
lot.
kick out, there's
Yeah.
grass, it is pretty much away from all of
We would be
the
okay
rice.
if
Yeah.
we put some
Yeah.
up like the other one was done.
Yeah, you'll be good. That's everything south of Rivers. Is that Riverview? That's the name of the street? Everything south of Riverview is wide open.
Good.
So,
You don't have to worry, definitely not this year, about anything happening.
Is that, do y'all have the monies, or is the monies available from the farm table that was supposed to be there going for the shelter? Has anybody passed that on to you, or is that?
I'm glad you asked, I actually spoke with Tamara today. So I took over the market from Alexis Wall, she was managing before me, and she had made an exchange with Tamara of $1,500, which I did receive and we still have an account. That was money released from the farm to table. There are still funds available for it that she has on hold, and her reason for holding it is because in order to run another farm to table, those funds would be required.
yeah.
Which she is looking to do
on
the end of this year, we're hoping.
September 10th, I
Yes,
think.
September 10th is what we've put out, and we're hoping to continue raising funds. The market ourselves, we also do a little bit of fundraising by bringing in fruit and vegetables and, increasing our funds like that. We also have a K. Hayes craftsman. He's a builder in Tazewell who is willing to build the structure on his own time. So that's a great thing as well. I know we have.
To give the labor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It wouldn't be material, it would only be labor, but that's huge. And I know that's a discussion down the line, but I'm really grateful to meet you all and start this conversation. And
We're glad you came.
thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Also, for farm to table, I was asked as a board member if we can get permission to serve alcohol.
No, we can't.
But,
There's a way to get a permit.
Yeah, that would be.
Man, over at that badge.
No, it's not. You have to apply
You
for
gotta-
a banquet permit through the agency.
Yeah, flat ABC.
Okay.
And I'm sure Tamara's done it before because they've had mine
Right.
at the last one.
Okay, so just an application for the agency.
It's an application, and
John
that goes,
Gunn.
yeah.
I'll get you a copy of the application and then I'll get you in touch with Mr. Gunners.
Thank you.
There you go, Mr.
I'd like for you to know that we've heard about this shelter as indicated for years, and we had these farm-to-table dinners, and that was the purpose, or that's what I understood was the purpose. I think that's what our council understood. So we're totally on board with this, and I appreciate you all coming and bringing it to the forefront, because if you didn't, we didn't know what was going on, we hadn't heard.
Our market is really taking off. We have a lot of customers who are comparing us to Abington. We're the best thing since Abington. We have vendors passing up multiple markets to sell at ours.
Well, I noticed even
I hate to lose it
Saturday
now.
in the rain. It looked
Yes, it
good.
was great. Thank you. It was shoppingly great, yes. So we're looking forward to just keep growing it, and I feel better now. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Looks like that's the end of our agenda. So can I get a motion to adjourn?
What, do we need to get an update from Dave?
Thank you.
Unless we want to.
Council comments, come on, we gotta hear the status of the.
We don't think ground. Can we go into executive session?
We gotta go back to executive session.
Yeah.
Motion to go back to executive
Can I get a second?
No, that's all.
session. Second.
All right, let's go.
Councilman